Have you ever thought about buying a Victorinox that had lots of tools, 20 plus tools on them? Well, in front of you here are three of the largest and three of the most used and three of the biggest sellers of their large tool system. What we have here is the Swiss Champ, the EvoGrip S54, and the Cybertool M. All these are Victorinox large tools that are still being made. And I'm going to quickly go through them, explain to you which ones are here and what they're good for. And then you can decide, right? Any of these, something that you would want to carry, has either just an everyday carry or sit on your desk. So this is Haku EDC. Let's get things started. When most people think of large tools from Victorinox, the first thing that comes to mind is the Swiss Champ. And this Swiss Champ is probably the one of the large tool that sells the most. It probably has the most fans. I happen to have one that has the clear silver scales on it. It has pretty much all the tools that Victorinox uses regularly. There are some larger quote unquote tools than this. I mean, even you can see that this EvoGrip tool is larger. But there's tools that actually are larger that would include the Cybertool bits with them. But this Swiss Champ is the one that people think about the most and probably gravitate toward. Quickly, let's go through what it has. It has a small blade on it. Has your large blade. Next to it, it has your file. Let me get the file out here. And right here is a nice little file there on that side. And on this side, sorry about the lighting here, it's kind of weird. And for some reason, even though there are other files, I think that because of the length of this is a really good file. You have your saw on a small multi-tool. I still think this is the best saw. This is a fish scaler, and the fish scaler does have your, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. It has a measuring tool on that side. And on this side, it has the measuring tool for metric. So there's the pliers, and these pliers are nicely sized. They actually do work on magnifying glass. This is your Phillips. And I think and this is the opener layer. The opener layer is one of those things where, you wonder if Victorinox would ever create a knife that doesn't have an opener layer, at least one of the opening layers on it. There's, like the Jet Setter and some of the other small ones that don't have it. But I'm talking about like the 91, 93 millimeter ones. On the back, you do have your corkscrew, and then you have your little screw that for like eyeglasses, small items. This is a little bit of a screwdriver also. Some people call it a scraper, but it's more like a screwdriver. Package carrier, hook, the awl. It has your tweezers, toothpick, and your ring for attaching it to a key ring here. If this is something If the Swiss Champ is something that you have and that you use, tell me, is this something that is still useful to you after having it a few years? Is it your everyday carry? I do know a few people who this is what they do for their everyday carry. They actually carry this, and then they carry like a pair of pliers. Then that's what they do. It's also just a great little tool to fix things that you come across. Today we're going to take on what I consider to be most underappreciated Victorinox. This started life as a Vanger, and it's the EvoGrip S54. The reason why it is underappreciated is because it has a whole lot of tools. If you compare it in size to the Swiss Champ, this is a medium Swiss Champ. You can tell it's much wider, but it's also not quite as long because this is a 93 millimeter. This is an 82 millimeter knife. And so why don't we go through what are the tools that are on here, then I'll tell you why I think it's special. Let's look at the Victorinox EvoGrip S4 and let's start off with some of the basic tools here. And we have the opener tools, your can opener and your pop bottle opener. Next to it, we will have your compass there and a ruler, something that is unusual that on Victorinox. And so now we're going to open up some more of the inner tools. What you have here is a real Phillips screwdriver, and next to it is a little wrench so that you can open and close some items with it. And both those work pretty darn well for an instrument that is that size. And let's open up the scissors now. These scissors are not your typical Victorinox 91 or 93 millimeter scissors. And if you look closely, you will see that these scissors have a little bit of a serrated edge to them. That makes them cut things like rope really well, which is the fish skeller. For those who like to like fish, remember that this is a pretty complete system, and so this fish skeller can come in handy with other items. And this is your magnifying glass with a little at the top screwdriver. And this magnifying glass does work well. You can start a fire with it. Please don't do that. Next to it is a saw, and this saw is a three-sided saw. I don't know if you can make that out there, but it's a file and saw there. I'm going to open up the wrench, and this wrench is typically what you would see on your Vanger ones. And this is a knife. This knife locks at a little bit off 90 degrees. I think it is a 105-degree knife, but it has a locking mechanism. And this locking mechanism is actually better than the one on like the one fold because there's a half stop. And this is your nail file and nail cleaner. Followed by your typical cork screw. And on the other side, you have your awl. Let's get the awl out here. And it does have a hole in this awl. The original Vanger ones did not have a hole, if I remember correctly. And then you have your typical tweezers and toothpick and your keychain. Hey, you can see why I think that this is underappreciated. While it is slightly more expensive than the Cybertool and the Swiss Champ, it just comes with a lot more tools. And all the tools here, with maybe just a couple exceptions, are usable. If you get a chance to handle one, try them out. They are still available for sale, although they're limited numbers and limited places that you can buy them. Let's take a look at what I call the Super Deluxe Tinkerer, or sometimes called the Cybertool. This is the one that I have, which is by far the most beat up. I don't know if you can even tell here. Let me put that there. It's beat up there and missing a few pieces. That's what happens when you possibly fall off a car. This is actually the Cybertool M. I call it the Super Deluxe Tinkerer because if you're a person that tinkers, you really want this. If you're looking at go-karts, cameras, drones, this is really the thing to have inside your pocket. What I'm going to do now is go through the tools that are on here. Um, I'm going to start off with, it does have your typical opener tools, your can opener, bottle opener, um, for your wire cutter. Then it has a really specialized tool, which is a little, what I call mini screwdriver. And this screwdriver is good to get into really small places to do some work on. I've used it to work on drones, but I've also used it in my technology work to fix things inside of computers. It comes with one, two, three, and four generally double-sided bits. Now, these bits are replaceable, but they're pretty darn expensive these days. It has a little small pair of pliers. Those pliers are good to grip with. It's got your typical scissors that work as your long knife and your small knife. Now, this is the M medium one. The larger ones do come with a couple of extra things, but I don't think that they're as important like a saw, for instance. On the other side, underside, you have your corkscrew, which I think is one thing that is I don't think that I've ever thought about using this with a Cybertool. I do know that some people will get those little screwdrivers and put them in here and use them. And this is your package hook or hook. And this comes in handy. I've used it in a number of places, mostly when I needed to drag something forward or move a wire out of the place. And your awl and your hook, your keyring hook right here. So that's what's on the Cybertool M. Now, has stated, this is a great tool for those people that are into DIY tinkering things, especially with smaller items. Have you used Cybertool? Tell me a jam that it got you out of, or how have you used it? I think it is very specialized, but very useful for those in those specialized fields. Okay, well, we've talked about all three of these, and the uniqueness of the Cyber tool, as I talked about, is it comes with the bits so that you can do some really good work in tight places. The Swiss Champ has every set of major tool that comes with a Victorinox. You don't have to worry about, do I have the tool or don't I have the tool? It is listed here. And then the EvoGrip, which is kind of a throwback to the Wenger years, has really a nice locking blade. If you're in a situation where you would prefer a locking blade on a large tool, then this is the tool to get. It also comes with a compass, and this compass does work. If you're doing stuff in like the outdoors, this might be the one that you want to get. As stated, I wish that they would have used this locking system on the one fold. Because of their pricing, a lot of people don't choose to look at these seriously. But just let me tell you, if you buy one of these, you may want to look on eBay for them or OfferUp or places like that. Are any of these three ones for you? Are you interested in getting them? I will put a link in the description so that you can look on Amazon or wherever to find them. All three of these are still available. They are limited quantities. I think that in the next couple years, this EvoGrip is probably going to be no longer being made. I also think that because of the Cybertool, it's never been a super big seller. It may stop being made. I know that they've sort of changed up the Cybertools and what's on them and what's in them right over time to try to get some spurred sales of them. But the Swiss Champ is one that will be around for quite a long time. All these have your lifetime warranty. So if something goes wrong with them, you can send them back. They will repair it, they will fix it, or they will send you a substitute tool. Don't do what happened to this, which is basically destroy it, your tool. But otherwise, they will take care of you at Victorinox. This is Haku, EDC. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends, share with your enemies, and I'll see you in the future.